Hi folks, I'm Melissa with Oakland County Parks and Recreation's Nature Education Team. Each week we're going to be releasing a video, an activity, and a craft on a nature topic. This week's topic is going to be snakes. So Mary and I are going to give you a little bit of information, so let's go. All right, so now that we know the topic is snakes, let's talk a little about general information for snakes. One is that they are a reptile. So this means that they have scales and they are cold-blooded. Cold-blooded means that they use the outside temperature to help regulate their body temperature. So if it's super hot outside, they might find a shady spot to cool themselves down. If it's cool outside, they may go out into a sunspot to help warm themselves back up. Being cold-blooded, they are not able to survive outside during the winter. So they actually go through a hibernation-like state called brumation, where they are going to be somewhere tucked away, safe and warm, so they can slow everything down and pretty much sleep throughout the entire winter, because they're not going to be able to find food and they're not going to be able to warm themselves up. Also, being a reptile, snakes can continuously grow, meaning if they have the perfect habitat, they have enough food and water and no predators, they can just continuously grow and get bigger and bigger. Being said, let's talk a little bit about what some of the snakes eat. We have small species of snakes and we have larger species of snakes. Smaller species of snakes are going to eat small invertebrates, worms, insects, things along those lines, where our larger species of snakes are going to eat small mammals like chipmunks, rats, mice. And then some of our snakes here, we have one species that actually uses venom and will catch their prey, and has small pits under their eyes to help them see warm-blooded animals to help aid in catching their prey. Okay, now that we've talked a little bit about general information of snakes, let's talk about the types of snakes that we have. If you'd like a complete list of snakes in Michigan, check out the DNR's website, because they have the entire list. We're going to talk a little bit about the snakes that we have here in Oakland County Parks. The first one, most common, is the garter snake, but we also have the brown snake, northern ringneck snakes, milk snakes, the fox snake, northern water snake, and the eastern Massasauga rattlesnake. Okay, for a little bit of a comparison, these are the three snakes we get the most questions about the most often. So this one right here is the eastern Massasauga rattlesnake. He's short back and he has a bow tie pattern along his back. Okay, this one is the fox snake, reddish in color with the real distinct pattern along the back. And then this is the milk snake. And it has a pattern along its back, and then it's got a Y on the back of its head.
Sometimes we hear from people that they think snakes don't have any bones because of the way they move, but that's not true. Snakes are a vertebrate species and have a spine. You can see here on this snake mount, this is a skeleton of a smaller species of snake we have here in Michigan. And you can see the bones are very thin and fragile, and that it does indeed have a spine, and these ones sticking off here are ribs. A lot of times we get the question from folks, well, where does the tail start? On a live snake, you can tell where the tail starts because it's past the vent of the snake. On a snake skeleton, you can see where the tail starts because it's down here where the ribs end. Melissa mentioned earlier that snakes grow continuously throughout their lifetimes. When they do this, snakes shed their skin. If you have a pet snake at home, make sure that the enclosure is moist enough or wet enough for the snake to get all of that shed skin off. If it's left on, it can cause health problems for the snake later on. Melissa also talked a little bit about some of the different sizes of snakes in Michigan. Our smallest snakes in Michigan, either the smooth green snake or the brown snake, can go anywhere from 8 inches to 12 inches long. Whereas our largest snake in Michigan, the black rat snake, can grow all the way to 8 feet in length. Whether the snakes you encounter are small or large, we need to be careful when approaching or handling snakes. Snakes do have teeth and they can bite when provoked. We do have also one species of venomous snake here in Michigan called the Eastern Massasauga rattlesnake. Melissa mentioned it earlier with its cute little bow ties. It is a venomous snake. We get that question a lot, whether it's poisonous or venomous. Venomous is where if the animal bites you, you get sick. Poisonous, on the other hand, would be you biting the animal or the plant and getting sick. We're fortunate to have breeding populations of Eastern Massasauga rattlesnake within many of our Oakland County parks. Because of this, it's important to keep pets on a leash and stay on the trails when hiking in our parks. Although the venom of the Eastern Massasauga rattlesnake is not as serious as some other types of snakes' venom, it is very serious and can cause injury to pets and people if you are bitten. This isn't a reason to fear snakes in our parks though, because most snakes will not bite unless they are provoked. If you don't know what kind of snake it is, don't pick it up and you probably won't get bitten.
Hi everyone, I'd like to introduce you guys to our fox snake that lives here at the Went Nature Center. This fox snake has lived here for 12 plus years as an adult. So we don't exactly know how old it is because we got it as an adult. Typically snakes will live in ideal conditions, meaning no predators, plenty of food and water, and a nice habitat to live in. They'll live for 10 to 20 years. So we do know that this snake is old for snakes. If you will look at it, snakes actually do not have eyelids. They have a scale that covers their eye. And when they start to shed, this scale will shed when their skin sheds. So this snake in her terrarium, or in its terrarium, we have a nice little substrate that she likes to burrow down in. We have a log that it likes to hide under, and we have a bowl of water that it can soak in. So when it does need to shed, that skin will come off fairly easy. The other thing is it gets fed mice that have been frozen, but we thaw them out and feed them to her. So this would be our fox snake. You guys can see that beautiful pattern on her back. She is very active today.
Thank you for joining us. Please post your photos of and experiences with snakes in the comments below. And keep an eye on our social media for upcoming activities and programs. And make sure you check out the website for Park and Nature Center hours, amenities, and programs that might be happening. Stay safe, get outside, and we'll see you next time.